and welcome to How's That Pokemon? I'm Jacob.
Kenneth, over here with Pokemon I'm not too confident in.
I'm Kane, over here with Pokemon I'm overly confident in.
Probably a flying type.
Not that confident.
Ooh. Alright, well, like always, Kane and Kenneth are going to try to convince me that these two Pokemon who I've only seen the sprites of and know the names of are really cool. They'll go head-to-head in a Pokemon battle wherein they try to convince me that theirs is better than the other one. So, go ahead and introduce your Pokemon. Kenneth, you're up first. Just tell me what your Pokemon is. Because I don't remember what Pokemon I gave you guys.
It's Minior.
Minior?
Minior.
Yeah, Minior.
Wherever your accent's taking you, but
Yeah.
the meteor Pokemon. That's literally a meteor / star kind of thing. Because it has a second version where it loses its shell.
Because I remember when I gave it to you, I said Minior Core, but that's only because I knew that there were two, and I want to hear all about why the hell there are two.
Fun gimmicks.
Yes.
That's really what it is. I mean,
It's just like, oh, this is something cool new to add.
yeah, because it's a Pokemon that like lives in the stratosphere. Oh, the color depends on what it's been eating in the stratosphere. It eats like particles of like dust and things like that.
Oh, that's
in the stratosphere.
cool.
And whatever substance is eaten, it's been eating, it affects what color it is when the shell comes off.
You know, that's super cool, actually, because I was actually reading about Pokemon last night. I honestly think it was because I was excited to record today. And apparently, during the design phase for all Pokemon, they do ask the question, what does this Pokemon eat, and how does it eat? I think that's really cool. So it's sitting out there in the stratosphere, and what does it eat? It eats other shit that's out there at orbital velocity.
Other rocks.
Rocks, yeah.
Which is like, does that make it kind of a cannibal?
Well, it's like Biter formed in the stratosphere from an aggregation of mutated nanoparticles. You ain't got nothing like that going on over there.
That's a mouthful.
Where it absorbs particulate matter from which it builds its core and shell. Eventually the process makes it too heavy and it falls towards the surface when the shell breaks.
Oh, like a meteor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, it's the lightest rock-type Pokemon.
Oh,
Like,
it's
it
been
literally
burning
says
up in
that.
the atmosphere.
Right.
It's the lightest rock-type Pokemon.
Oh, that's
But,
super cute. I do really like that design.
Also, it'll die pretty quickly without the shell. Like, a Pokeball will keep it safe, but out in the open with its shell, it'll die pretty quickly.
Die?
It says, however, it cannot survive for long with its core exposed and will eventually die if not placed inside a Pokeball.
That's dark.
Wow. Yeah, because it's not meant to be inside the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Ooh, it says, and will eventually die if not placed inside a Pokeball quickly enough.
Oh, so it sort of
Which,
depends on
is
us.
that like...
Is that canon?
It wants
like,
to be
game?
captured.
No, I'm just saying, what's quickly enough? Are we talking about like 5 minutes?
Yeah, like, we
10
got a battle
seconds?
going. We got a battle going. Like, I gotta win first.
I gotta win, or we gotta get me
like-
back the fuck in there.
Yeah.
I
Talking
can't
about a day,
battle.
an hour? Like, that's pretty dangerous.
Kane, what's your Pokemon?
I choose you, Salandit, the best
Oh
Pokemon.
my god.
So if we're talking
How
about,
did this happen?
look, if we're talking about matchups here, Salandit we're talking about two Alolan Pokemon here, and Salandit, not only was it one of the first Pokemon to be revealed for Alola,
It's like Kane's second, third favorite Pokemon in Alola.
he's not wrong.
It really is.
It is a little on the nose.
From the time it came out.
It's a salamander and a bandit. And his little design is a cute little lizard, and he's got these little tufts that looks like he's wearing like a robber mask.
He's got little pantyhose over his face.
Yeah, he's Salandit. He's the first poison fire type Pokemon, which is an awesome type matchup because it's two offensive types that have. So he's two stab moves, right? He's got a poison stab and he's got a fire stab, which there's tons of poison and fire type offensive moves.
And there's a bunch of side effects you can get from both of those. You can get burned or
and
poisoned.
So all around, he's just a unique Pokemon, and right from the get-go, when I saw the trailer that released him before the games came out for Sun and Moon, I was like, that's going to be my fire-type Pokemon. And guess what? It was, and I fell in love with Salandit.
Cool. All right, you guys already kind of went into the defense, but I've still got to ask this question because it's the title of the show.
Yeah.
So, Kenneth, how's that Pokemon?
Let's see. We're talking about like battling. Probably not your best choice.
Just in terms of anything, yeah.
Let's see. Like you said about double typing, it's rock and flying.
Oh, that's actually really cool. It's like Aerodactyl, right?
That kind of covers some type matchups. It has the ability Shields Down, which is an ability that only that Pokemon has. Which when its HP becomes half or less, the Pokemon's shell breaks and it becomes aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So once the HP gets below half, it turns into Minior Core.
Oh, so it's not just two different. Do they operate like two different Pokemon? Or like what changes when its
while
HP
in
gets
Minior
below
form,
half?
Minior cannot be afflicted by status conditions or become drowsy due to yawn.
Oh, that's cool.
Rest
That's
will,
really dope.
but also rest will fail if it uses it.
Yeah, but it's just
in
because
its
it can't
Minior
do.
form.
Okay,
Yeah.
just because it can't do any kind of status effect.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Because that means that every time that it's getting on its last legs, it's gonna pull out this like little trick it's got in its back pocket.
It just affects what affects it. It doesn't make it stronger or weaker or anything. It just changes the effects that can be used on it. So.
But what I'm getting from that is actually, if it were battling Salandit specifically, that means Salandit's main strategy would be harder to implement. Because Salandit works off of status conditions, like poison and burning.
Actually, I believe it's going to be affected when it goes into that core. So when it comes out of the core, I should say, it'll be affected. So.
Oh wait, so
that'll be kind of it'll make it kind of worse. The regular Pokemon is the one in the shell.
Yeah.
When it goes below half HP, that's when the
loses
shell
the shell.
breaks and it loses the shell.
Yeah.
And it becomes more vulnerable, as opposed to like weaker.
Does it increase in like attack and stuff?
Wait, so when it gets below half HP, that's when status conditions can affect it, but they can't affect it when it has full HP? I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, it cannot be affected by status conditions or become drowsy due to yawn. So that's why it's in the Meteor form with the shell.
So when it's at full HP, you can't do status.
Yeah, so
but when it's half.
So the poison won't mean anything when it's full HP. Once it gets down to half.
I don't know where that fits in competitive play, but if it's like low tier competitive play, that's probably at least pretty decent.
Yeah, because now that changes the strategy around.
In whatever.
And if the core form miner is switched in while grounded.
Yeah.
While it's out of the shell.
Yeah.
So whenever even if the battle's over and you keep walking, you encounter another Pokemon. When it comes out half HP, it's going to immediately turn into that form. So then it would be affected by things like Iron Ball, Gravity, Toxic Spikes, things like that.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, okay.
Even though it is a flying type, it would
just
be grounded by it.
But that's when it's... Under what circumstances will it be grounded?
When it goes under half HP and the shell breaks.
So it gets nerfed super bad.
So it gets it's like the opposite of...
But it's got a pretty badass premise right off the bat.
So if you're fighting with Minior Core, your job is to hit hard and hit strong as fast as you can.
You're good in you're glass cannoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once you're down half HP, it's like, all right, hey, let's not fight anymore. Let's we can talk about this, right?
If we're talking about cool abilities, I'm gonna quickly jump over to my Pokemon Salandit for a first quick sec. Talk about Corrosion, which is a new ability that's only to the Salandit line. Salandit and its evolved form Salazzle.
Mm-hmm.
Corrosion allows you to affect poison types and steel types with poison. So if you have So if you have... Jacob just gave me a look. If you're fighting a little Steelix and you got a Salandit on your team, Salandit has... Steelix is probably not a great example because it's a big boy. But let's say you have a really fast Salandit because you leveled it up to 100 or whatever.
Level 99 Salandit.
Yeah, at that rate, you probably should have just waited until you caught a female one, but I'll get into that. If you used like toxic spikes or something like that, and it's from I actually don't know if it works with spikes or if it has to be a direct hit. But if you just use toxic, let's say, that badly poisons a Pokemon, which is a great thing to have on your team, Salandit and Salazzle can affect those immune to it, other poison types and steel types.
Okay.
So you can badly poison steel types, and with just one status affecting toxic move, which on pretty much any team you're gonna want at least somebody that can put up poison or burn.
Mm-hmm.
And so a Pokemon that has that ability, that is basically like there's no blocks to a poison team.
Oh, okay.
Is, I think, one, an amazing, really cool ability, And 2, I'm glad this little guy got it. He's got a little lizard. He's a little lizard, and he's really cute, and he's able to poison anything he wants.
That is interesting. That does make him pretty powerful if he can poison steel types. Because isn't the point of steel types the fact that they can't be poisoned?
Yeah. That is absolutely the point of steel types.
And he's also, was it a fire type?
He's a steel fire, so he's also just super effective. I mean, at that
Poison
point, you
fire.
might as well just use flamethrower. But
Yeah.
it,
No, that's actually a fair point. Like, if you've got a steel type and you're going up against a fire type, even if he can poison you, it's like, why bother? The
I got
fire's
flamethrower.
Yeah.
but if it's your toxic spike setup, I actually don't know if it does. Then toxic spikes with a Salazzle and or a Salandit
But you
would
can't
be
use
the best.
But you can't use that flamethrower as well on a poison type Pokemon, so it's worth.
Right. I mean, it's also for other poison type Pokemon,
Yeah.
which is a big deal because there are a billion, million poison type Pokemon out there.
So let's talk background. Do either of these guys have cool Pokedex entries or cool lore stuff or cool inspiration for their design?
I don't know about the entries because I haven't really read through them yet, but the specific, I mean, I have. They're just kind of like, explanations for why it's a fire poison type Pokemon. But the cool thing about this Pokemon, in the same vein as other poison type Pokemon, like Koffing and Ekans being Team Rocket's Pokemon, Salandit is the main icon for the Team Skull from Pokemon Sun and Moon.
And what is Team Skull's big deal? What do they want?
To cause chaos.
Wait, so is it
Yeah.
a team of jokers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like in the game, in the context of the game, they like take over a small town.
Yeah.
And like they've like completely destroyed all the buildings, and like it's always raining there for some reason.
Yeah, and
it's
they
like
don't-
terrifying. Actually, they like take over a
They
town.
just change the weather.
But they're not like evil.
No, they're not
They're
like
just, like-
they're
They're
not.
just nihilists. So it's like they Big Lebowski'd
Well, there's
Yeah.
Pokemon.
in Sun and Moon. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't played Sun and Moon at this point. I'm just gonna skip.
Little late for that, y'all.
Yeah,
Which means you're me.
yeah. Well, are you gonna
I-
play Sun and Moon recently?
Even if I was going to play Sun and Moon, I wouldn't mind if you spoiled it. I don't care about spoilers.
There are 2 evil teams.
Yeah.
And one of them is like this evil science team, and they're the real bad guys, but they don't seem like the bad guys from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But they're the real one. They're the one like trying to investigate what are called Ultra Beasts and shit. And we'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
talk about that in a future episode because I think they're on the list somewhere.
Actually, they were on the list, and then when I found out that they had a special name, I took them off the
Oh,
list. 'Cause I
okay.
was like,
Because they're dumb.
I like their designs.
No, they're just that they're not really Pokemon.
It's just
but
another version of a legendary,
It's like
but then they added like a million of them.
dumb.
But regardless, so there's that. But this other evil team, which is like the evil team, but just like on a smaller scale, which is kind of interesting because usually it's all like organized crime or like. This is sort of like a scarier than organized crime in a way because these guys just like don't like not in the anime. In the anime, it's like for kids, so they like, tone it down a little bit. And these guys are just like losers.
Yeah, they're just like high school bullies who are not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
oh, so it's just like a bunch of punks.
The
Yeah.
premise is that they couldn't get their like first gym badge, so they all become Team Skull members.
Oh, because they're pissed at the system?
Yeah.
So it's just a team of people made up from the character Andy Samberg is playing and threw it on the ground.
Yes.
Which at this point, it's like you spent all this time going around battling, beating up people.
Right.
Maybe you should go back to the gym and
But it makes
Yeah.
sense.
check progress.
But it makes sense that they have so many of these Salandits, but if you notice, none of the members have a Salazzle. They only have Salandits.
You could beat the first gym with an unevolved Pokemon.
For sure. For sure. And some of these Team
And
Skull
what's-
members have really strong Pokemon.
Wait,
so it's like-
wait! It's not a gym. Remember, Kane.
Oh, right.
There's no gyms.
There's no gyms in Alola.
Really?
Yeah.
It's trials.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, we
It
might
shakes,
talk
up,
about
it,
that
shakes,
later.
it shakes up
That's
the game
the
a
whole
little bit,
concept.
Yeah.
but it's good. But basically,
It
trial
changed the
captains-
game, but it didn't change the game.
Huh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, and yeah, but Salandit is the bad guys, like main guy, like
Mhm.
Koffing and Ekans are to,
Yeah.
Team Rocket.
You know what I find interesting? It's a salamander, and I think I want to say ancient Greece?
It's
maybe?
actually a red-bellied newt.
Oh, it's a red-bellied newt?
Yeah, the Japanese name is different than the American name, and people think it's for. It says it's Yatomori, which is burglar, and Imori is newt.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, so it's a burglar newt. But Salandit, that's a brilliant name to bring it into the like an American
English-speaking
name.
audiences?
Yeah. It's just as clever of a mashup name.
Well, yeah, because salamander comes from an old mythical creature that I do think is Greek.
I
Maybe
think you're
I'm
right.
wrong.
The big fire. It's what Charmander is based off of.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
fire lizards.
Yeah.
Mander, chart, Mander.
Oh,
Right. But
wow,
this-
I can't believe I didn't see that before. I think it's one of those things that you learn it when you're a little kid and internalize it.
As
and then you don't-
Charmander.
Yeah,
This is Charmander.
It's just Charmander. And then when you're an adult, you
You're
don't
like, oh,
even
shit.
bother to look back.
They were
at
trying
it.
to tell me something.
Yeah. Apparently these newts are toxic, which is why this is also. It's not just like Charmander. It's not just a fire type.
Well,
It's also
salamanders are
poison
some of
type.
them are toxic too.
What, the newt, the red-bellied
I know what
newt
I'm saying.
is.
Even like
Oh, the Rio
salamanders.
red belly newt is.
Yeah.
I'm saying even salamanders.
Oh, wait, no. Salamanders are toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm
Wait,
wrong.
what type of salamander is toxic?
Multiple types.
This just is regular. Just
Multiple,
just says
yeah,
salamander
multiple
general.
types.
Okay, I was like, it can't be all of them because like we used to find salamanders when I was in Boy Scouts.
It's
and like, you
probably
touch
not.
those things.
It's probably not like their skin. It's
More
probably,
like
oh,
tropical.
secretion.
Huh.
Salamanders.
Really?
But that's a whole National Geographic thing.
National
Kenneth,
Geographic, do you want to sponsor us?
yes, please.
Give us all the
Actually,
fun facts.
legit, if I was ever sponsored by National Geographic for something we did, that would like make my fucking life. Like I could probably die happy.
If we're asking for sponsors, Carl's Jr., please. Please. You don't even understand, please.
But Kenneth, let's go back to you. Is there anything cool with Minior Core?
The possible lore for Minior Core
Possible.
is there's this Japanese like star-shaped candy called
I know what
Konpeto,
those are!
and they come in like rainbow colors.
Oh, those are so cool looking.
Which also the Minior Core, when it goes into the core form, like we talked about how it has different colors. The
Yeah.
colors are basically the rainbow.
Wait a minute.
Possibilities.
Is this like when those stars eat those tiny stars in Super Mario Galaxy?
Oh, yeah.
Is this an ongoing thing in Japan that they have that the candies are maybe based off of something galactic in some way? I don't know enough about Japanese culture to know, but
I don't know.
Not
That's
that
too-
I know either, but
If they hadn't showed it in anime, I don't know. But I did see it. It does come in like the full array of the rainbow colors.
yeah, I do have to say that I love it when like Spinda. Is
I think it's Spinda, like panda.
Spinda, yeah. I love the fact that there are like a million possibilities to catch for like a Spinda. Anytime a Pokemon can be a personal, like other than its basic shiny form, right, which is cool because those take a long time to find. But anytime you can make something more personal to you, I'm always about it. So
Yeah,
when
The
you can,
Spinda's pattern is like one in like ridiculous number.
right.
For you, two people to catch the same Spinda.
So if the
Yeah.
Minior core that you caught was pink and the one that I caught was blue, for whatever reason, that difference means something as like a player to me, and I do have to say that that's like I think the appeal.
That's true. I'm kind of the same way, where it's really cool that, like, your Pokemon is different, even if it's just purely aesthetic. It's like, oh no, this is a thing that I can look at and say, this is my Pokemon.
And Kane, why don't you tell us about the huge differences of Salandit? The huge differences between each Salandit.
I will say that 87.5% of Salandit are male,
Oh, and what?
12.5% are female.
And Kane, what happens if you get a male Salandit?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
You have to catch a female Salandit in order to evolve it into a Salazzle. Salazzle does not, which I think is amazing.
That is pretty cool.
That is
Well,
cool,
I
yeah.
spent about 3 hours in the grass trying to find a female Salandit. 3 hours, which, if you're playing Pokemon, trying to do one thing for 3 hours gets, excruciatingly like, okay, when's it going to come? It's just RNG at that point, right? But there is something, on the other hand, of not just customization, but on time being put in, that I have to say about this, that Salazzle made it all the way through the Elite Four with me. I took it everywhere because it took so long to catch that Pokemon. And Salazzle isn't the best fire type. It isn't even the best poison type Pokemon. But the fact that I waited so long to catch just a female Salandit, just because my luck of the dice was shit.
Yeah.
But it took that long because some people find it right off the bat, right? It's 12.5. It's not the lowest
Yeah, it's not
percentage.
crazy.
But I used it. It meant something to me. That Salandit meant something to me. That Pokemon was closer to me because of the time I put in to capture it.
Yeah.
And I think, anything that the games do to give you that kind of like special treatment for a Pokemon is worth it.
That's true, and then you've worked for it.
Right,
You've spent
and
time
all
with
of
it.
these bandits that I'm fighting that have Salandits on their team, none of them have a
Bitch,
Salazzle.
y'all got Salandit.
And I throw my Salazzle
Never
out.
gonna have a Salandit.
It's like, look, I can poison y'all's little lizards.
That's just bullying.
Yeah.
Kane's one of those people that skips trainers in the beginning and then comes back after he beats Elite Four and wipes the floor with like youngster Johnny. Just wipes the floor.
That always does seem mean. I used to do that back when I was playing Pokemon Blue because you'd skip them because, you're starting out and you're sort of like scared to battle.
Yeah, I want my Squirtle.
Yeah.
Fainting over and over again.
And then you come back later and you're like, oh shit, I need experience points.
And you got
there's no
blasted with
Pokemon
those
left.
hyper beam.
Yeah.
And you're like, I need every single experience point I can to get to 100.
Oh my. Any final thoughts from either one?
Salandit's the better Pokemon. And also he's a little lizard and way cuter in design.
I don't know about cuter.
In my opinion,
cooler,
I
but
like
don't know about
lizards more than
cuter.
I like giant
I don't know what's cuter
brown
than
things.
a literal pink star. Or
Yeah.
meteor.
I am inherently going to be biased toward anything that comes from space.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I love space.
If I could make a good case for Salandit coming from space.
Yeah, that would then it'd be pretty easy.
All you have to do is draw Salandit in an astronaut costume.
But I like that Minior
You're
is
searching that like somebody had the same idea and drew it.
Wait, are you gonna
He's
do a quick
Googling
Google for
Salandit space.
Kane's over here on his phone
Oh!
typing away Salandit astronaut.
I think he literally put Salandit space.
I did forget to mention Salandit has one of the sleekest shiny forms
Really?
of all Pokemon.
Wait, what does a Minior's shiny form look like if they're already different colors?
I believe it's only one color.
Yeah.
And it's a change of the rock.
Huh.
But I don't know if the cores are still different.
Oh my god.
What?
Holy shit, that's so fucking cool!
Wait, what is it? Is that it?
This is what's coming up.
Is
Kane.
that its actual shiny
Kane,
form?
you don't have a chance against
No,
that
that's the
shiny.
coolest thing I've ever
That's
seen.
so cool!
No, Minior wins.
When did that come out? Is that real?
I don't know, I keep seeing it.
That's
And
amazing!
also, that's the shiny outside, and that's a little bit darker.
Oh, yeah, no, Minior wins. Which is weird, because I was about to say I'm biased toward it, but Kane made such a good case for Salandit that he was going to win. And I think, Kenneth, you just swooped in here at the end.
Damn, I should have started with that. Just here's a shiny meteor.
That's so
That's
cool.
it. I have no other
Shiny
argument.
Salandit becomes white.
Oh, that's cool,
And
too.
it's just like a nice little change of pace for like the gray skin.
Look, these are pictures from of a DS screen.
So far our winners have been Skrelp, Talonflame. What the fuck was... Oh, Marshadow. Yeah.
I think that's
I still cannot believe fucking Scrope won.
a sweet. I can't believe Minior just won over Salandit, guys.
Well, that was a Hail Mary.
Yeah, that was a Hail Mary there.
I'm still looking for a space Salandit.
Who else had that idea?
Somebody has to. I'm gonna draw it. It's gonna happen.
Severin, if Kane finishes a Space Salandit, and just throw that up for the people watching on YouTube. Alright, see you guys next week.